I'm Shelia Smoot. What makes a shooting justified? If you feel threatened, if you feel under duress, what makes you want to stand your ground? And if you do, will the shooting or whatever you did to protect yourself be ruled justified by the courts? Well, you're not going to want to miss this segment. Attorney John Robbins breaks it all down in our Crime of the Week. I'm Shelia Smoot. The Shelia Smoot Show starts right now. Welcome into the Shelia Smoot Show. I am Shelia Smoot. Good to have you along. Oh my gosh, it's been a week. It's been a week, a year, a month. But what else is there, right? What else is there? My mother used to say, if it's, what was that saying? If it's not one thing, it's another. For me, it's always something. It's always something. I know you're like, for you, but I stay positive. You know, they say that being positive makes you live longer. Yeah, I read that somewhere recently, that staying positive makes you live longer. Let me go to my phone lines. Welcome in to the Shelia Smoot Show. I'm Shelia Smoot. John Robbins, Crime of the Week. Good morning, John.
Good morning, Sheila.
How are you?
Just getting back from doing some hot yoga.
Hot yoga? What is that? Like you're going in to do yoga and it's like a steam room?
It's like a 110 degrees room, yeah.
Okay, why? Because my John Rocket, our photographer, he drank something and spit it out when I said why. Hot yoga, why? Because John Rocket wouldn't do it. He's like, nah, not for me.
I do it Saturday morning at 8 o'clock at the yoga circle.
And you do it, okay, and you do it early. You're killing us up here. Yeah. John Rocket and myself are looking at you like.
More flexible.
Oh, okay. You're throwing me off. You're throwing me off. In a good way. Everybody welcome in Attorney John Robbins. Yeah, you're throwing me off. John Robbins, attorney at law, Crime of the Week. Keep it locked here. We are going to give you his number at the end of this segment. And while we segue, and that is a tough one, while we segue into today's topic, you know, John, people shoot people, kill people, and that is justified.
Sometimes it's justified. That's right.
That is. There was a Hoover man killed in Birmingham, and there was a robbery being committed. And while the robbery was being committed, this homeowner shot this guy, and the shooting killed him.
Mm-hmm.
So there was another one that occurred. This shooting also occurred in Birmingham. In a part of Birmingham that has a lot of different things going on, a lot of shootings in that area. And this guy also rolled up on the wrong guy, and the guy turned around, shot him, killed him. And so talk to me about that. When a person is justified in actually killing somebody, when is a shooting death ruled justified? John?
Well, Alabama has recognized, and every state recognizes, the principle of self-defense.
you have the right to defend yourself against the use of unlawful deadly force. You know, so the law recognizes that principle of self-defense. It refers to you hear it, a stand your ground state. That simply means that you do not have to, as long as you're in a place where you have a right to be, that you are not acting unlawfully while being there. You do not have a duty to retreat before you can use deadly physical force to protect yourself.
So I don't have to stop myself and say, oh, wait a minute, I need to think this out because while I'm getting robbed and this guy's invading the house, the car, or whatever, I don't have to think it out. You don't have to say, wait a minute, am I going to get in trouble if I shoot this guy because this person is invading my space, invading my life, about to rob me?
And Alabama law is very specific about this. You have the right to use deadly force to protect yourself when the assailant is in the process of committing a burglary, which is the Hoover case, or a robbery, which is the Birmingham case. I mean, burglary, a home, your house, your building is burglarized. A person is robbed. Now, we tend to use those two terms interchangeably. You know, we interchange them sometimes. But a person is robbed. Your home is burglarized. So, you know, you're at home and somebody's breaking into your house in the middle of the night. You have a right to use deadly force to protect yourself and your family. If you're out on the street and somebody sticks a gun in your face and wants to rob you, you have a right to shoot first and ask questions later. Now, I do not suggest that that people should, you know, reach for a gun if someone else is pointing a gun at them.
Say that again. You say you don't want somebody to reach for a gun if somebody's pointing a gun at them, but they may feel a little stressed.
Yeah, I mean, if somebody gets the jump on you, so to speak,
right,
and they want to rob you, your property's not worth your life. Just give it up.
Okay, wait. I hear what you're saying, and I respect what you're saying. Somebody's pointing a gun at me, just give them the property, not like this. You know, I watch a lot of Westerns, John. I know that sounds weird, but I still watch Gunsmoke. I do like Matt Dillon. He is fast with a weapon. He is fast with a weapon. Even when he's hurt, he's fast with the weapon because somebody's pointing a gun at him. He didn't say, hey, you're pointing a gun at me. They're just drawing. You know, the Wild Wild West is when somebody's, they're all reaching for a gun. He draws, Matt Dillon draws, and bam, the other guy goes down. So Matt Dillon was justified because somebody pulled the gun on him first?
Sure.
Gotcha.
Now, obviously,
but
if somebody pulls a gun on you to rob your purse, your car, whatever, your wallet, and you have the ability to have a gun, you can shoot them.
But can you get off for shooting him? That's the question.
They're not going to prosecute you. That's justified. Okay? You won't even be charged, and you shouldn't be charged.
But don't you have to have a witness to that?
No.
Well, how can you prove it? How can you prove? Okay, because this guy, but there's still, everybody's got to talk it out to make it justifiable. It's like, okay, you're sure the guy was trying to rob you? Oh, was the guy? I mean, it's hearsay.
Well, the question is, did the person who shot in self-defense, did they act reasonably under the circumstances.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and yes, that's an objective standard, but okay,
Well,
is sometimes. I mean,
Okay.
sometimes in life, all you have is your own word.
Okay.
Okay, and sometimes that's your defense. All I have is my own word.
You got to be believable.
Sure, and we got to be believable. And so, yeah, is law enforcement going to investigate your claims? Yes.
Yes.
So the evidence, when examined by, law enforcement, by a reasonable person, the evidence has to support that you acted in self-defense, that you were justified. Yeah. Is it great that you have a witness? That's great. But you know what?
What?
Not all robberies. They're not witnesses
That's correct.
to all robberies.
That's correct, because this guy got rolled up on a sidewalk, I believe, in the Birmingham case, where it was justified.
And and the police are going to look.
Walked up on him.
They're going to look. They're going to look at, did the other person have a gun? What's this person's criminal record?
See?
He's
Yeah.
they're going to look at. They're going to look at everything.
Did these guys have beef? Did these folks know each other?
Yeah.
Were they in an altercation a week ago? That
Yeah.
thing.
Was it a setup? The police are going to look at everything, and the district and it's not the police who determine whether a person acted in self-defense. That decision is made by the district attorney's office.
Right, but they write up the charges, and they usually, I think police officers ought to at least take a legal class, because many of them write up charges that just don't make sense, and then the person has to get themselves out. That's another segment. But you're right, the DA has to make that decision, and
Yes.
does that person need to come to have a lawyer by his side when he's trying to justify that he was justified?
Having a lawyer never hurts in those situations.
Okay.
I mean, if you believe you acted in self-defense, there's no need to run. There's no need to hide from the police. Once you shoot that person down, stay there.
It's the way you said it, John.
911.
Both Rocket and I are laughing. Once you shoot the person down,
Put that person down.
stay right there.
Stay there.
And hope somebody
Call
calls 911.
911.
Hope your phone is working.
Wait for the peace. For
Yeah.
the police to get there, and tell them the truth. Okay, don't try to withhold evidence. Don't lie. Just tell them the truth.
Right.
Stick to, and it's easy to repeat the truth. The hard part is to repeat lies.
That's good. Say that again. It's easy to repeat the truth, but hard to repeat lies.
It's
I
easy
like
to
that.
repeat the truth.
Mm-hmm.
It's easy to repeat the truth.
Right.
It's very. People get tripped up when they try to lie, and then they can't remember their lie,
Right.
and then they say a different lie. So, if you believe that you were acting in self-defense, you stay there. Don't run. Unless it's a dangerous situation.
Right. And somebody else may be trying to come up and rob you because that guy didn't get you. So there's a group of people.
You flee. Okay. You flee, and you get to a safe place, and you call the police.
Okay, let me go back.
Tell them.
Right. And I agree with that advice. Except when there may be other people, I'm going to run and call you later. But I'm going to stick around the area, and when the police show up, I'm like, hey, I was here. I got scared.
I was here.
Yeah.
Here's my gun.
Here's my gun.
It's legal.
Yeah.
It's
legal. It's legal. That's a good point, John.
Good
point. It's legal.
And,
what makes that gun legal, John? What makes that gun legal?
It makes it that, you legally can possess a gun.
Okay.
Okay.
So you can't
you
be
don't
a felon.
have any felony. You can't be a felon. You can't have a domestic violence, even if it's a misdemeanor.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You cannot be high on a controlled substance or drunk.
There you go. Stop right there. Can't be high, drunk, misdemeanor. So somebody's trying to rob you. You kill them, and it's justified. But dun dun dun, you are a convicted felon. You had a misdemeanor on domestic, and you were high at the time, and therefore you may not be justified in killing a person who is robbing you.
No.
That is my question.
No. Well,
Dun, dun,
there
dun.
is that issue.
I tripped you up. Go,
that
go,
issue
go.
Comes up.
All right.
No. That issue comes up from time to time, and it's been addressed in federal court. Even a convicted felon
wow.
has a right to protect themselves.
Okay, that's where I was going. That's where I was going.
Even a convicted felon.
Mm-hmm.
But a convicted felon can't walk around
With a gun.
with a gun.
With a gun.
Now, if you're
Catch
in a
22.
situation, and your life is in danger and you're threatened and you have to act immediately, and if you reach for someone else's gun and use it, you're justified. Even though legally you're not supposed to possess, you're not lawfully possess a firearm. But there are some exceptions there.
I see.
Now that doesn't mean, hey, I'm a convicted felon. I can ride around the streets of Birmingham with an AR-15.
You cannot do it. You're right.
You cannot.
You cannot.
You get caught, you're going to go to federal prison.
Right. You cannot. You're not supposed to be riding a gun as a convicted felon with a gun, period, whether you're under duress or not. You may have to figure out another way to protect yourself.
Yeah. It is, the other things your grandmother says. Nothing good happens after midnight.
Anyway,
and watch and understand
who you're hanging around.
Who you hang out with and where you hang out.
Right. John,
plain and simple.
Very, very plain and simple. Evidence that you have to have. Evidence that you have to get a ruling that you killing another person is justifiable based on self-defense or under duress. I like to call it while somebody's trying to just roll up on you, rob you, enter your house. I mean, because nobody's going to think, John, like, oh, my gosh, 1, 2, 3, 4. Count to 10? No. Count to 1. So
no.
What evidence do
you don't have to? You don't have to wait to be injured or shot before you have the right to protect yourself. All these, when a shooting is ruled justified, it all depends on the circumstances of that case, and it can be ruled justified even though you're the only person. There are no other witnesses.
Ooh.
It's just your word.
Ooh.
It's just your word.
Wow.
But you don't lie. You don't run. You tell the truth and tell the police what happened.
Mm-hmm.
And that's sufficient. That can be sufficient. But all the circumstances, law enforcement going to look at all the circumstances, and then they're going to take what they believe is evidence. Okay, whether it's admissible in court or not, we're not there.
Right.
But they're going to look at what they believe that they have and know about the shooting, and they're going to take it to an experienced district attorney whose job is to review that and make that determination. And they're not the district attorney's job is to seek justice, not always seek charges, to charge somebody, or not always to seek a guilty verdict and send people to prison.
Mm-hmm.
Their job is to seek justice.
Okay,
and and ethically, they're not supposed to bring a charge against anybody that they know they can't prove.
Oh, they do it though. They do it every day.
Well, they're not supposed to ethically.
Yeah, they're not supposed to. We'll let you stick with that, John. But it's kind of like your friend up in the United States and in the government. They're not supposed to do a lot of stuff.
Hmm.
But again, and you said something very definite that if you're, sometimes situations happen and you're with the wrong crowd. But the other situation is somebody is watching you, or you're in a neighborhood like the Gelati case where the gentleman was out jogging,
Right.
and these guys come over, young men come over and think, and they kill him. They're robbing him for whatever, and they still kill him. A decorated veteran, that in those situations, and so the justifiable thing is real. I think people don't realize that Alabama is a stand your ground state, right?
That is correct.
And that means
Yeah.
you have a right to defend yourself if you feel that you're under duress in some kind of way, feeling threatened, correct?
You, you have a right to use force, reasonable force, to protect yourself, and you have a right to use deadly physical force
Ooh.
if someone is about to use deadly physical force against you, or to use deadly physical force use physical force that will cause serious physical injury. Okay, or you have a right to use deadly physical force to if someone is about to commit a robbery, a burglary, an assault, a rape, a kidnapping. You have a right to defend yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And that's
Now, I mean,
uh-huh.
now we though we have a right to defend ourselves, we also want our citizens to act responsibly. We don't want a situation where everybody arms themselves, and every time they feel disrespected, they think that they can shoot somebody.
That's a good point, John, that you just made. Every time they feel disrespected in their mind,
Yeah.
that they pull a gun, and that's going on a lot. That is
Right.
going
And
on a
so,
lot.
and so when we get into, justification on a killing, just because you think you're justified doesn't always make it so.
Doesn't
Because
make it
it's
so.
not. It's not that you felt threatened. Would a reasonable person under similar circumstances have felt threatened?
So sticks and stones can break my bones, but words can never hurt me. But people start shooting people when they say the wrong word. That is what you're saying. Like somebody's mad and says the wrong thing. Oh, dude, I'm going to shoot you. That is not justified, correct?
That is no. Words alone never justify a shooting.
Thank you. That's what I want you to say. Although we know tempers flare, people get hot, and the guy said something or the girl said something, and now we got a shooting and a murder. But the words will hurt you, folks, because you're going to jail. John?
Unfortunately, Sheila, when I put the morning news on tomorrow morning, get my cup of coffee, and I'll put the 6 o'clock. I'll put the 6 o'clock in the morning news on. Wait for the Willie Geist show.
Mm-hmm.
I am sure, unfortunately, there will be a story about a shooting
It's
in
unfortunate.
Birmingham tonight.
Yeah. It's been happening a lot.
And it usually is about somebody feels disrespected, and a shooting breaks out,
Mm-hmm.
or these revenge shootings are they're getting out of hand.
They're getting out of hand, John. The revenge shootings, and like you said, every time I'm doing my story on my station where I do news for radio, every time in the body of the story it said the two got in a heated argument. Somebody pulled a gun and shot the person.
Yeah.
Folks.
and then
Yeah.
the person who dies, his people, his posse,
Right.
his
Here they come.
his you know
Yeah.
his little gang. Now we got to go shoot him, and then goes back and forth. That is the killing of the 5-year-old who was just getting a haircut. It was basically a
Wow. Really?
revenge shooting.
Really? What?
Yes.
So the kid that was sitting in the chair in Bessemer getting his haircut where his grandmother dropped him off,
Right.
you're saying that they were coming up, rolling up, they're mad, and they shoot into the house
They're
where the
mad
barber...
they're mad at the guy. They're mad at the barber
Oh,
because the barber did something.
oh,
So it's
kidding.
it's a little revenge shooting. Yes.
And a little 5-year-old
Yeah,
is dead. That's
and
crazy.
the little 5-year-old is dead, and that's going to come out in court.
John Robbins, Crime of the Week. John, thank you for that information. I was, we go back and forth on these, and that's a good update. So thank you for that. That is so sad. Folks, you got to get it together. You got to do some conflict resolution. John, I think that starts in elementary school. But doggone it should start in the 6th grade. But maybe that's even too late. But, I'm beginning to think that this age group doesn't know how to solve a problem, doesn't know how to tame their emotion, and doesn't know how to just, figure it out and just move on. It festers, it boils over, and now you got some innocent people are getting caught. I think that's why people are really pissed off, because innocent people
Right, but
are getting killed.
Sheila, you and I both know.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
That stuff starts in the home.
Yes.
Yes. Teach
a
your
lot of
children
it.
well.
Attorney John Robbins, Crime of the Week. John, how do we get in touch with you? And folks, be brief. Be brief.
Send me a text message at 205-835-6818. I will get back to you. That's 205-835-6818.
Again, I'm Shelia Smoot with the Shelia Smoot Show. Don't be a sucker, be a consumer, and we will see you next week.